Hi everybody, this is Cherry Joe, and today we're going to have a uh, sharing on what True Face Essence Ultra product is. And this has to be one of my most favorite product at Nu Skin. So we're going to get into that, and I can share with you some details about this and what's coming up at the end of this year regarding this product. Okay, so let me just get started here. All right, so here's the product, True Face Essence Ultra, which is a serum for facial skin. So basically, right now you could see some of these small blue pearls, we call them. And inside there's just clear substance, very rich serum that you can apply onto skin. And True Face Essence Ultra is one of the top 5 sellers at Nu Skin, and annually it sells about $65 million in just one product. So it's an incredible product, and it's also what is known as one of the stickiest product for ADR. So as we know, ADR from last week's lesson, ADR is auto delivery reward program that people can buy product on a monthly basis and they get reward back 20% in free product points. Okay, and so Nu Skin True Face Essence Ultra is the one that has the stickiest, meaning that when people get on the ADR products with True Face Essence Ultra, they keep using it for years and years and years, and I'm being one of them. I've been on it for 5 years, and it's one of those products where I get panic when I don't have any more. So just so that you understand that this is a huge product at Nu Skin, and it's about to get better with age lock. Okay, so at the end of the presentation, you'll see a little bit more information about that product. Okay, so basically these are the 8 category in skincare. So basically, there are a lot of products out there that covers everything from lines and wrinkles, the texture of the skin, the smoothness of the skin, the discolorations, meaning the dark spots, the color change as we age from sun damage, hydration, pore size, radiance, skin doesn't seem to glow anymore, and then skin structure and firming. So True Face Essence Ultra is the firming piece of the pie. Okay, so basically every day you have natural forces that comes in contact with skin, and over the years it causes saggy and loose skin. So now Nu Skin True Face Essence is basically that firming serum that can be used with any other skincare system to address that problem as far as saggy skin. So True Face Essence Ultra, beside this main ingredient called ethocin, which we'll go into that later on in the presentation, it also contains coenzyme Q10, which is an antioxidant to help with cellular energy. T-green 97 is a very potent antioxidant, and many other antioxidants that created in one product, in one serum. So it's a very powerful product. It helps restore the facial firmness, promote cellular energy, and with all these extra antioxidants like CoQ10 and T-green 97, these antioxidants help sustain the new elastin, which this product actually helped produce. And so we'll get into that right now. So the benefit of True Face Essence Ultra is, again, it promotes skin firmness and the elasticity with the main ingredient called ethicin. And this is all patented and proven that it can restore your elastin content to the levels found in younger people, 18 to 25 years old. And it prevents future problems as far as degradation of elastin. It helps contour and firm the skin, and you can use it around the eyes, neck, chin, jawline, neck, chest, and hands. So most people might not recognize the word décolleté, but that is mainly the chest region. Okay, and again, we mentioned it contains T-green, very powerful antioxidant, CoQ10, and other carotenoids to help with preventing sagging. All right, so ethicin, we talked about it's being the key ingredient, and it's clinically proven and so forth. So this is Chantal Bernstein. She is the biochemist and she is the inventor of ethicin. And she owned a pharmaceutical company in Northern California, and she created this product, ethicin. Over 2 decades now, her product are being sold in um, plastic surgeons' offices. And they used to sell that. Now we have the exclusive rights, Nu Skin does, to sell ethicin or to use her ethicin product to create our own True Face Essence Ultra. And so in the past, plastic surgeon would have their patient use the ethicin product for at least 2 months so that their skin becomes more firm. And prior to doing some type of surgery, they would want the person to have the best result. So that's why they want to have that patient basically have her skin uh, prepared as far as to have a better result. Okay, so she is somebody who works very closely with Nu Skin, and she does a lot of um, seminars. And a couple weeks ago, she was actually in Provo, Utah at our leadership summit to talk about the new ageLOC True Face Essence Ultra that's coming out later in the year. So again, for those of you that don't know what elastin is, it's just like the rubber band. It's a protein fiber in your skin. So it helps with the flexibility, the elasticity. So think of a rubber band, you know, it'll just pops back when you stretch it and you let it go. And so that's how your skin is when it's younger. It has the ability to snap back. So here's a photo of a gal here. If you crunch up your face and then if you let go of your hand, younger skin will pop back into the, you know, the normal um, skin as soon as they let go of the hand. But with older skin, when you do something to the skin and you let go, it doesn't pop back. It takes a little bit longer to pop back. And you can actually do that on your hand, on the back of your hand. You know, the skin is very thin. If you just take your fingers and you pinch the skin on your hand and you pull it up and then you let go, notice that when you're older, it takes a while for that skin to go back. When you're young, it just pops right back. And so that is the elastin fibers of skin, and it's very important. It's called the youth protein. Okay, collagen is something else in the skin, so your skin does need both collagen and elastin fibers. So collagen is more like the structure fiber of the skin. It's not actually, it's not very flexible at all. So think of it like there are the bridges, you know, the column that hold up the bridge. So the collagen is like those columns holding up the bridge, you know, the structure of the skin. So that's what collagen does. But the elastin is the flexibility of the skin. Okay, so without that, those two fibers, your skin will start to age and wrinkle. All right, so that's why we need both. And so, but the elastin fibers, again, being known as the youth fiber. Okay. All right, so what happened to skin when elastin fiber decrease and skin starts to age? That's easy. Skin lose contour and firmness. You start seeing the jowl area has a little bit of sagging. There's a little bit of a fold in your skin around your cheek area, you know, where that laugh line is. People call it a laugh line, but it's actually your cheek muscle that's actually now sagging. Okay, so that is, again, the skin lose the firmness, and so therefore it sags, gravity. So that's what happened when we age. Ethicin, again, is the main ingredient, like we said. It is proprietary and patented. And again, we mentioned that Nu Skin has the exclusive right to it. So what is ethicin is not? It is not a moisturizer. It is not a skin softener or exfoliator. Um, it's not an antioxidant or vitamin. Okay, so it basically helps um, to create more firm skin. Okay, and then here are some of the publications that Dr. Chantal Bernstein has also, you know, created with lots of scientists and lots of publications. So Dermatology Times is something that has talked about her product. lots of patents being already issued and pending around the world. So she is trademark this ethicin being that main ingredient for elastin. So here is something that you might want to take a look more at, the website called ethicininfo.com. And on that website, you'll see more of the research that's been done with ethicin. And this is prior to Nu Skin acquiring the rights to use ethicin. Okay, so certainly go there, ethicininfo.com, and you can see more information. So here's a quote from Dr. Peter Pugliese. He is a skin physiology doctor, and he's written a lot of books regarding skin, um, basically a lot of books that are being taught at school. So he said this after knowing about the elastin content and how ethicin can create more. He said the single most important cause of age-related wrinkles is the loss of skin elastin fibers. Everyone, whether female or male, will begin to lose skin elastin fibers at the age of 25. Elastin fibers are the restorative force on the skin. Only one product in the world can restore your skin elastin level to that of 20-year-old skin, and that is ethicin. So he's pretty confident in saying that because he saw all of the studies and all the publication on this product. Okay, and how does it actually work? This is, it might get a little confusing until we get to a slide that shows you some image, but what it does, ethicin actually blocks what causes skin cell to produce elastin, to stop producing elastin, I'm sorry. So the important youth rendering skin rubber band that we have is called the elastin, of course. So it promotes healthy elastin levels by blocking bound DHT from sending signals to elastin producing fibroblasts to decrease elastin production. So I'm going to go into that slide in a minute, but here's a little bit about cellular physiology of the DHT receptor and the DHT binding. All of us, men and women both, are born with DHT receptors in their skin, and it's also genetic. We can inherit them, okay? So the amount of DHT in everybody is different. It's in your blood. So after the age of 25 to 35, depending on your genetic makeup, so Asian actually fares a little bit better in this category. So we tend to age slower. So, and that's because of the DHT receptors in our skin. But at that age group, we tend to get more DHT receptors than anti-androgen. Okay, so here's some picture. When androgen is more like a male hormone, when it enters the skin cell, it actually converts to DHT. And DHT bind to what we call DHT receptors. If you look at this, it's like a magnet. So the DHT is always going to be drawn to DHT receptor, and it's going to lock in. Okay, this actually, when that happens, it moves toward the cell nucleus, and it signals the cell nucleus to stop producing elastin. So we really don't want this to happen. We don't want the DHT to actually catch on to the DHT receptor, because that's bad. So basically, androgen is the DHT, like we said. So our body also have anti-androgen. Your body produces that naturally. So the anti-androgen is the part that also attached to the DHT receptor. And so the anti-androgens actually block the androgen, which is the DHT. But when we get older, the anti-androgen is actually produced less. And so this is why we have ethicin. It's going to be acting in the place of anti-androgen. Okay, so what happens here, if you have ethicin in your skin, it actually go and attach itself to the DHT receptor, therefore blocking that bad guy, the DHT, to bind to it. So that stops that reaction right there. Okay, so basically here you could see another picture here. This is the nucleus of the cell, and all the ethicin is now binding to all of the DHT receptors. So that is going to tell the nucleus to produce more elastin in the skin. So we don't want the DHT to attach to the receptor. And so that's what ethicin is, like a blocker. It acts as a goalie or a blocker for us, okay? So hopefully that's clear, but you can look at ethicininfo.com for more information on that. So what kind of result can we expect with ethicin? So in the clinical trials, it's actually performed at various universities around the world, UCLA being one of them. And of course, a lot of plastic surgeon offices have been using ethicin. So a lot of those cases with patients actually contribute to these clinical trials. But when you see this P less than 0.001, what that means in clinical trials and studies is that 99.99% of the people had good result. So they had increase in their elastin content. That's huge. Very few, I would say, I don't know, when we talked to Dr. Chantal Bernison, she said she doesn't know of any other studies of anything that has that high percentage of success, you know. So anytime when you see the P, that is, you know, the success rate of that particular clinical study. So it just means on the reverse that 99.99% of the people saw the difference in their skin clinically, not just through the eyes only, but clinically. Okay, so with the ethicin study, this is actually done at UCLA. And in that study, a group of people, young and older, so they're 40 and up, 40 to 77-year-old people, and then there's a younger group, 18 to 25. So what they did at UCLA was they took skin biopsy of every participant, young and older, and then of course they looked at the skin elastin content per age group. Okay, so normal skin elastin in younger people is around right here. Okay, and the older group is about 55% of the skin protein is made up of elastin. Oh, I'm sorry, not 55%. It's actually 10%. Okay, this is a percent of elastin content. So what happened is that after 2 months on elastin, not elastin, I'm sorry, 2 months on ethicin treatment, twice a day on the older group, they took a second biopsy and they saw that the percent increase in the group, okay, it went up 55% more elastin. And then after 2 months, 115% in elastin content. And third month, 163%. And then the fourth month, it actually goes back down to this right here, this level right here. So that actually matched with the younger group. Okay, so basically when that mean is just that 3 times, about within the 3 months use, the elastin contents actually triple. 166% actually triple in the older group. And so this is where we can actually now give 100% money back guarantee to anyone using our True Face Essence Ultra because of this study right here. Okay, and so basically you have to use it twice a day because the ethicin skin activity stops after 10 hours or so, and that's why you have to reapply it. And you got to make sure you reapply it on face, neck, and chest area twice a day for the best result shown in clinical studies. Okay, so some people say, well, after a few months on it, can I just use it once a day? If you want the best result as seen in clinical study, you have to use it twice a day. And this is so important with anything we do, as you know, as far as consistency and following direction will always give you the best result. Same with supplements. You got to take it twice a day, not once a day. Okay, and so this is exactly how you need to use it, twice a day. So after using it, it will restore the elastin content, and the skin will appear more firmer, smoother, and more beautiful. So how do we use it? The recommendation is that you're going to use it after the cleansing and toning part of your system. And then you can apply the True Face Essence as the final layer of your treatment step, and then finish up with a moisturizer. So that means that if you use another treatment, so True Face Essence Ultra is considered the treatment, so is Age-Lock Serum. So if you're using both of those, then you would use Age-Lock Serum first and then True Face Essence last, and then put moisturizer on top of everything. Okay, so here's another photo slide so you could see. True Face Essence Ultra can be used with any skincare system, meaning if they were using Chanel or Lancome or whatever brand, every single system actually has 4 different steps to the system. There's always a cleanser. The second step is the toner, okay? And the third step is some kind of serum, which is the treatment. And then there's the last part, which is the moisturizer. And in a system, they usually give you a moisturizer for day with sunscreen. And then there's a cream at night, which is a little bit richer without sunscreen. Okay, so these are the 4 steps that you use when you use any system or regimen. So in this case, True Face Essence Ultra will be used right here, right before the moisturizer. So if you were using several different treatment products, so you can even using in our company, you might be using True Face Ideal Eyes, True Face Line Corrector, okay, and therefore you can use all of that first, and then True Face Essence Ultra Pearl will go on top of those treatments, and then when that is applied, you apply the moisturizer, which is the last step. Okay, hopefully that's clear. It's always the last of all treatments, the last product to apply in that treatment category, and then the moisturizer always lasts, and that's the part that keeps the moisture content in the skin, because remember, True Face Essence Ultra isn't a moisturizer. So if you don't use a moisturizer, um, you won't have any hydration in the skin. Okay, so if you use it wrong and you think that's a serum, I'm just going to put it on and I'm done, and then people say, well, why is my skin so dry? Because you're not using any moisturizer. Okay, so you must use the moisturizer on top of True Face Essence Ultra. Okay, so it also comes with money back guarantee, and we know this, right? 60-day money back guarantee. Because of those clinical studies, 99.99% of the subjects actually had increase in the elastin content in the skin, triple the amount of elastin. So this is something that's why the company is very confident in giving people 2 months, 60 days usage. So they have to be it on ADR. They have to purchase on a ADR order twice, 1 jar per month. And then if they don't see any difference within that time frame, they need to provide photos. So anybody who use True Face Essence Ultra, you would want to recommend that they take a before photo. All right, and that is part of the requirement to get their money back. So they would take it with the current newspaper today. If today's the day they get started on the product, they would put the newspaper in front of their chest with the date showing and take a photograph. And it needs to be with proper lighting. And when you take the after photo, it also needs to be in similar lighting and another newspaper showing the date of that particular day. All right, and then after that, there's a refund request that you can download on newskinusa.com. You'll find that under the resource tab of this particular product, True Face Essence Ultra Guarantee. You'll see all of the forms that you need to fill out. So, it's an incredible product to share with people, because we get that confidence that if they don't see any difference in that 60 days, they will get their money back. All right, and so it's about $130 on ADR, and we get 20% back in free product points. So really, some people, if they are concerned with their face being sagging and loose skin, this is a product that can help with that. And long-term usage actually is amazing. Okay, and so again, it's the stickiest ADR, meaning that when people get on it, they love it so much they cannot get off it. And that's just proof to you that this is one of the best product right now to focus on as far as building your business. All right. All right. Here's what's new starting out in October. This is called the Age Lock True Face Essence Ultra. Some of us that attended the leadership summit, I'm sorry, the success trip rather, which is something that we had to earn, Ruby and higher. And during that trip, we all received 30 capsule. This is a small sample size as one of the gifts when we attended the success trip. And so, you know, Scott Schwartz told us that we are the only one in the world that actually has the sample beads. And so this is something that we get, you know, some of us tried it and it's amazing. Um, you know, I haven't, you know, used all of this yet because I wanted to save it to show people. But first off, I noticed that the smell of it is different. That's one thing. And actually, the first thing is actually the bead is a little bit harder. You know, when you twist that that tip of it, but it goes on beautifully, just like the current True Face Essence Ultra. But I'm sure that when we use it longer, as far as you know, age lock, it is more precise in addressing that gene expression that create elastin problems in the skin. And so that is something that when we get it, we have a little bit more time to use. I'm sure we can actually see the and compare the difference. Okay, so True Face Essence Ultra Age Lock is going to be launching in October, and the company is planning it to be a $10 million launch, which is huge, considering that uh, the current True Face Essence is selling about $65 million a year. This October launch, they're giving us like 10 days or so to pre-order. I'm telling you that $10 million in products that they put aside for this launch will be gone within hours. So this is something that we all have to be aware of, and we'll have a strategy to share with you later. But this is how you're going to qualify to participate in the pre-order. Not everybody gets to pre-order. So this is something that you need to know now so that you can prepare for it. So any new LOI joining the company either in June, July, August, or September qualifies to order. And any current executive right now, if you're already an executive prior to June 1st, you need to sponsor one new LOI, just one, anywhere between June and September. That's pretty easy, right? So everybody should be able to have this requirement to order. So pre-orders start October 1st to 12th, but like I mentioned, it's probably gone within 3 hours or so. October convention is the other time where you can actually purchase it, but you have to be there at the convention in Provo, Utah. And then after that, it's not going to be on sale until January of 2013. And during the pre-order period and at convention, you can buy the 4-pack of the new ageLOC True Face Essence Ultra, and that will be 560 PV or 571 CSV, which is the commissionable sales volume. So that would equal to 571 wholesale dollars. Okay. Every 2 sets you buy, so basically you'll have 8 jars. Every 2 sets you get a gift. So every time they do pre-orders launch, we also get some type of gift from the company. And so this time, I'm sorry that I don't have the photograph of these items, but eventually we will have them. So it's either Ray-Ban sunglasses or purse or wallet for the men. Okay. So in January, the ADR price will actually be around $140, which is not that different than the current one. So we shouldn't have any price objection to that because we all know what ageLOC is. And so, you know, we're excited that it's not that much more. I mean, we were thinking maybe 160, but so this is good news. All right. So we're going to have some Q&A for you guys regarding True Face Essence Ultra. The first one, can you reduce the amount of ethicin you are using after the initial 8-week period to maintain results? Perhaps using it once a day. instead of twice. Why don't we talk about that? The answer is no. If you definitely want that result of a elastin content like the 20-year-old, you need to use it twice a day, okay? All right, so at what age should you start using ethicin? So it depends. I think Caucasian, usually you'll see that their skin actually age a little bit sooner. So Dr. Chantal Bernison mentioned around 25 in skin physiology, we start losing the elastin. Okay, so we have to start earlier if we are a certain race. And so with Asian, we actually have a little bit more time. So about 35 and up for Asian people. Okay, so that just depends on and if you have problems already, doesn't matter, you know, what happened, but if you see problem with skin sagging, of course you can start using ethicin. Does ethicin work for all skin types? Yes, certainly. It's not it's just a substance to help increase that naturally produced collagen in the skin, so it has nothing to do with skin type. Okay. All right, so the next question, does ethicin work on other skin areas such as hands, neck, and chin? Yes. Anywhere that you see that the skin is very thin, and usually that's the area that you lose the firmness faster. So people that use ethicin for 2 months, they're pretty much hooked on it. They will spend a little bit more to get even 2 jars and make sure that they get their neck and their hands as well. Okay, so you know, in Beverly Hills, you'll see not pictures, but you'll see a lot of women in Beverly Hills walking around with turtleneck. Is because they do a lot of plastic surgeon on their face, but they cannot work on the neck. The loose skin on the neck is terrible, so they actually cover it up with a cowl neck or a turtleneck. And so this is something that they love it so much that we hear that people over there, when they can afford it, they'll buy 2 to 3 jars per month. And so this is an incredible product. So with that guarantee, people are very confident that you know, they want to bathe in it. Basically, some people said if they can bathe in it, they will. And so that's just keep in mind that these areas are also very important. Okay, does ethicin work differently for women and men? The answer is no. Again, it's just skin physiology, and all skin is the same. Okay, so for women and men, it's certainly the same. When does ethicin start to work once applied? It starts to build up the elastin content after 30 to 60 days, depending on the skin. And so certainly you got to keep using it twice a day as directed. And some people will actually feel the skin become softer after a week using it twice a day. Okay, so it depends, but certainly the 60 days money back guarantee will get people to keep using it to have the best results. Okay, how long do I need to use Too Faced Essence Ultra to get results? Okay, I think that we talked about that, 2 or 3 months. I'm sorry, 30 days or 60 days, and continue using it, you'll have that result. It gets better and better. Okay, what would happen if I stop using Too Faced Essence Ultra? This is a very common question that's asked by a lot of people because they always say, wow, it's so expensive. I don't know if I can keep using it. Okay. So what would happen is that your skin will go back to what it used to be. That means you don't have enough ethicin to block that DHT, and the DHT is like a magnet, goes and bind with the DHT receptor, which then starts the nucleus saying that, you know, they're going to produce less elastin. So if you stop using it, just imagine that image earlier about all those, you know, things going on inside your skin. You won't have anything to block that DHT binding process, and therefore your skin will go back to the chronological age. Basically, if you're a 50-year-old, how a 50-year-old skin is supposed to age, you're going to go back to that point because you didn't have any, you know, health per se. So that is the answer that we get from Dr. Chantal Bernison. And so it's not going to get worse. Some people always say, well, if I stop using it, does my skin get worse? Well, no. I mean, it's almost like if you go to the gym and you work out and you have firm muscles, and if you stop going to the gym, it goes back to what it used to be. It doesn't get worse. Okay. And so hopefully that is helpful in answering some of your question. Now, if you have any other question at this point, I can also take them for you right now.